with another episode on the Shai Talk. This is your girl Shai, aka the Don, aka you know me. I got a very special guest today. This person knows me from like top to bottom. Okay, we've been knowing each other for a very long time. I'll give you guys the years when she start talking. But one of my closest friends, soft spoken as ever, Ahna. This my homegirl, home skillet biscuits.
Oh my goodness.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, Shai. I'm doing good.
Thank you for coming.
Of course.
Thank you for tapping in. This has been in the works. You've been knowing about this since the beginning.
I know. I'm very excited.
Yes.
It's finally my turn.
She went to Cleveland. She's a Cleveland head. So that adds to Jay's list. That's another Cleveland head, class of 2017.
Yes.
She went all 4 years. So that's called loyalty. Me? No. Gotta go. But yeah, like I said, Anna's like my close friend. She has seen me in all the emotions, everything. I can talk to her about anything.
It goes both ways.
Both ways, yes, for sure. But I don't even really remember how we even met at Cleveland, to be honest.
I honestly just remember us having like Mr. Shaw's class, first black teacher. Remember, he was our science teacher.
Oh, for souls.
Yeah, for souls. For those of you that don't know, Cleveland is a STEM school, so there's two sides. There's the
science side and the engineer.
Yes. So I was on the science side.
If you was so ed, you was crazy. That's too much work.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely science. You know, I want to be a nurse in the future, so.
Yeah, future nurse in the building. You know what I'm saying? Got associates in nursing right now, so anybody want to give her a job? Yeah, give it to her now. But yeah, I mean, I don't really remember how we actually met, but I do remember having Mr. Shaw's class. I remember having art class with you. Yes. And you guys used to call me Chickmunk. When I got my wisdom teeth pulled out, you called me a chipmunk. I would never respect you for that. You and the other ones. But when she got her wisdom teeth pulled out, she knows the pain that I went through. That was a lot. Because you just got yours out, right?
Yeah, last year.
Yeah. You got all 4?
I got all 4.
Good.
But it wasn't as bad as everybody, talked about. It was definitely, I had more swollen cheeks. I didn't really have pain.
Ooh,
but it was hard because I can't really swallow. I have a hard time swallowing pills. So, when they gave me the antibiotics that I have to take, I had to like break them apart.
Put them in applesauce. Yeah, that's that trick.
So it was definitely a struggle, but
yeah,
they out now.
Okay. Well, this episode is going to be very interesting. It's really just going to be questions and then whatever drifts off.
Okay.
So since we met each other when we was like 14.
Yes.
14. We're now 23.
It's crazy.
I know, right? Absolutely ridiculous.
It's crazy.
What was your first impression of me that you can remember? Since you know me.
She fitted.
Facts. Yeah.
She did. Because I remember Shai had the pink foil 4s on.
You took it way back.
I remember when those came out, I like begged my mom. We was in Champs, and I begged my mom to like get those, and my mom was always like, Anna, that's like $100, 120. And I was like, Mom, I'll work for it. And I remember I didn't want to wear them on the first day, but I remember seeing her, and she had the like acid tone, the high-waisted acid wash jeans.
Are really
the like ripped jeans.
Oh my God.
And then she had the pink foil 4s on, and I was like, oh, she's fitted. She with it.
You already know what the vibe is. You dig? No, man. I mean, my first impression of you that I can remember, we had the blonde streak at the same time. So everyone used to think we did that on purpose. And I'm like, no, like, I don't really know Anna.
I don't even know her.
Yeah, like, and I don't know. Mine was in the middle.
Yes.
Yours was on the side?
More on the side.
Yeah. And so that, like, used to twin. And then you had kicks, too. Off top. And then, from there, we was just hanging. And then, like, going to the movies outside of school and stuff, with others. And, yeah, and I remember she was my right hand, I want to say man, but right hand woman when it came to my Sweet 16.
She guys, let me tell you about Shai Sweet 16.
Yeah, let them know.
This chick hyped it up to the max. Like, you would have think this was like the Cleveland edition of like My Super Sweet 16.
Absolutely.
Like, I remember Shai did the photo shoot. You know, she had the all black fit on with the Tim. I remember that when Tim's was the thing. And I remember coming to school. For some reason, we always agreed to be at school like super early.
7 o'clock.
Like 7 o'clock. I don't know why. But we would just kick it in the lunchroom. Like, it was just crazy. Yeah. Like, we was there mad early.
Yeah.
But I remember Shai came in with the Jordan box with all the envelopes. Like, she was holding on to that so tight.
Absolutely.
And she was just passing them out. Like, if you had one, you had one. And it was like,
the black envelope.
This is lit. And so I remember the day of, though, it seemed so stressful because I remember meeting up with you super early at the venue.
Facts.
Because it wasn't in, like, Holly Park.
Yeah.
And
it was the guy was late.
It was a lot going on. Like, the person that was letting us in.
Yeah.
He was, like, super late. Everybody started showing up, you know. Shai still had to get ready.
Facts. I had 2 outfits.
But her party was super lit, though. I mean, it was like a kind of like a Candy Wonderland theme.
Yeah.
But
I had my face on a water bottle. Come on.
Shai
you know the vibes.
There was a lot of bouginess in the party. So,
yes.
But it was definitely a good one to remember. It was like a blackout theme. And I remember we came out stunting in the 6s, the infrared 6s.
Yeah. I said, yeah, everybody pull up. You got the infrared 6s. Yeah, wear them. I think half of the party had those on.
They did, because they just released, though. That's why.
Right. But some people didn't even pay attention to the whole dress code.
Yes, there were some people that were coming in here in some colors, and it was like the theme was called Blackout.
But you know, Negroes, they don't read. That's what it is. And the ones who didn't get an invitation are still sad this very day. They still bring it up sometimes. Oopsie, sorry. But
it is funny, though.
Even people who didn't have an invitation was pulling up.
A lot of people were pulling up.
Pulled up, DJ pulled up. Sir, you're not okay. Thank God I know you, but I really didn't give you an invitation. But
I mean, that's the thing. It was word on the street. There's a party going on, and that was the vibe at the time. Everybody just showed up. Yes. You know, invited, not invited, you know, but it was still a good time.
Oh, for sure. I had a really good time.
Definitely still have the pictures in my phone. So
listen, there's a flash drive that I lost that was like the photographer that took of us. I can blackmail some people if I find it. If I was on that vibe, but I'm not gonna do that. But no, that was a really good time. No, that was one of my favorite times with you and stuff like that. And Cleveland was cool. And
I think our base 9 times.
We
had this like group called Base 9.
Stuff was off limits. All right, go ahead.
But I don't know. It was just interesting, just the way that we used to think. Like,
I know, getting there at 7 o'clock, skipping advisory to go to the second lunch. Yeah, like. Before we had cars, did you walk with us to Herfries?
Yeah, down the street.
Yeah, down that long hill.
By the Starbucks?
Yeah. Bro, going to the game, homecoming. Now, sophomore year, homecoming was lit.
Remember we had like the tutus, the little tutu skirts?
Yeah, for sure.
And
yeah, the twins had Gigi. Yeah, everybody had that.
It was like the Converse vibe.
For sure. We was sweating. My hair was matted at the end of the night. Like my weave, oh my God, that was before wigs. Weaves, it was matted right here. I said, Auntie Cherry, help me.
But you got your mom though.
My mom, I wasn't with my mom that weekend, so my Auntie Cherry had to like hook it up. Mind you, I think Gigi Sweet 16 was the next day. I was like, bruh, this ain't gonna work. I wrapped that thing in a bun, made it look cute. To time. Yeah, I remember Ahna. You know, Ahna was just always just, you know, skinny mini, had the J's on, soft spoken. That's never changed. You're just so, hi, how are you guys doing? Hey. But okay. So another question: as your friend, what is the most challenging thing about me, and how do you handle it? I'm gonna let you go first because I know mine on my head for yours.
The most challenging thing. I think once you are kind of in this place of like frustration, it's really hard to try to, you know, let you see like all the work that you're doing. You know, like it's tried to kind of bring you back to reality of like, hey, you know, I know you're upset. It's not going as planned, but, you know, look at all the progress that you made, like, right now. Like, for example, yesterday, you know,
can I cut you off real quick?
Go ahead.
You know what? To everybody, I got beef with the whole entire city of Seattle. I really do. Because, you know, the fundraiser, it was a cute turnout. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate those who popped up. But LeBron, yeah. You could have pulled up. But I'm playing. But no, that messed up everything. And everybody that had the chance to see him, Layla. I hope that you guys all got all the pictures that you wanted. And you got to see him in person. I'm telling you right now, if it wasn't for my mama, I'm telling you, I would have been there. I would have been camping. I would have been doing all that. I would have been right there. I'm low-key beefing, but, you know, the game did stop, which was kind of sad. Because, first of all, I feel like they should have put it at Climate Pleasure UW. They knew that it was going to be crazy. Then you add all these people after you announced LeBron. That was bound to happen. Yeah. But I think it was a good experience for people to see him, because who's paying $10K to see him in LA? But sorry, go ahead. I just want to say that when you said the fundraiser, I just wanted to get that off my chest. Okay,
but like I could, you know, sense when I pulled up yesterday that it was just stressful. I can just already kind of see that you was already in that like set of just like, I'm over it. Yeah. But I wanted to try to let you know, like, hey, what you're doing, like, it's still amazing work, right? Your mom still had a good time. I still had a good time. You know, we still raised money at the end of the day. But that is the most challenging, just for you to see like all the progress. You've definitely like overcome like your obstacles, because the old Shai probably would have just like gave up and been like, I'm canceling, like I'm shutting it down right now.
Or cussing somebody out.
But, you know, now it's just more like cool, calm, collective, you know, just kind of keep it to herself and then just let things just go with the flow. But, you know, it's still a challenge though. Yeah. But, you know, you working on it.
Therapy.
But hey, that's what it's there for. And, you know, therapy, I feel like a lot of people with therapy see it as like more of a bad thing. Like, oh, you got a problem, like you need to go to therapy. But sometimes it's just like, let me just talk to somebody to vent to. Like, you know, maybe it's just too much for me to vent to like my friend, my family. Like, let me just go to someone who I don't know and just speak about it, so I can get like a different perspective, you know, to see how I can go about something. So I just feel like that concept of like therapy, a lot of people just take it like the wrong way.
Like negative.
Like, very negative. And it's like, no, like they're here to help you, either like mentally or just for, you know, just for you to just be able to, you know, vent to someone at the end of the day.
Not internalize it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I feel you. Okay. Most challenging. I was assuming you was going to say that, because my energy be, when I'm upset, that energy be out there.
It go from 100 to 0 real quick.
I don't even have to say nothing. You just feel it.
Yes.
Yeah, that might be a toxic trait a little bit. Sometimes.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. I feel like I'm kind of like that too, though.
Oh, for sure.
Like, I definitely get irritated very easily with people, you know, so I'm trying to learn to understand that sometimes, you know, it might have been a simple process for me.
Right.
But, like, people don't comprehend things as easy as I do, you know?
Control what you can control.
Yeah. So, you know, like, I feel like working in customer service does, like, definitely test my patience with that, you know? You can tell one thing to a customer and they don't comprehend it. It's like they have selective hearing.
Yep.
And so it's like you find yourself having to repeat yourself. I hate repeating myself.
I remember one time working with you went off on somebody. I was like, Ahna, no, because he should know. I was like, oh, okay, sir, I'll help you over here. But I get it. Now, I mean, you're working with kids. Maybe kids, I'm more like sensitive about it because like they're kids. But then sometimes working with people when we work with kids, I'd be like, come on now. Like, you expect this 9-year-old to figure that out? You're getting frustrated?
I mean, they're still learning, you know? Like, they're still in the stages of what they're learning, what they can and can't do, versus, like, adults. It's like, we're already there.
Yeah, our brain is already developed.
We should know the rights and the wrongs. We should know, like, I don't know. Like, I feel like COVID definitely messed up because definitely working in retail, a lot of people are more entitled now. And they just think that like they can just get help like in the moment. And it's like, no, you know, like a lot of places are short staffed nowadays. A lot of people are burnt out. And it's like, just because we're customer service, you know, doesn't mean that we don't have feelings, you know, doesn't mean that we're not tired,
we have
you
family,
know, but we're still here to like help you guys at the end of the day. So it's like, just take a step back.
Right.
And just be patient with us, you know.
Facts.
A lot of people are just like, oh, I need my Starbucks right now, or I need to get my phone fixed right now. And it's like, you had an appointment? Did you wait in line to do your Starbucks order?
Yeah, did you do an online order? No. So.
Like, it's not my fault. You know, like,
Facts.
utilize the resources that we have. I stay mobile ordering everywhere I go now. You know, I don't have time to be waiting in line. You know, I'm not going to drive 30 minutes to a store for these pants that I saw online and then find out they didn't have them in stock.
Facts only.
You know, like, me, I like to get in and go. Target, I'm always mobile ordering. Drive up.
Yeah.
Beep, beep. Here's my stuff, you know.
That's what's up. That's what's up. But I say the most challenging with you as my friend. Normally when your energy's off, you'll still speak to me. But me, I'm not speaking to you for a couple of days. Like, I gotta internalize it but I would say I challenge that I know you know who you are, but I don't think you realize how much like you're that girl. And that's with numerous of like categories, like maybe like friends or even relationships. It's like, I know your worth, but I'm like, do you really know like your worth? Because I'd be like, some things like the decisions you be making, I'd be like, Ahna, what? Girl, like, you know you are worth, or you okay, here it is. Your tolerance level to me outrageous sometimes. Like, I don't know why you're tolerating that. You want me to pull up? No. It's all good. Are you sure? No, Shai, I'm good. I'm not even about to stress about it. Nah, see, I'm ready to knock if you buck if someone, like, you know, but that also is a good key. I just feel like you don't overdo it, but it's like sometimes I just be like, and how I handle it now, I just kind of let you process it. And then when you're ready, you know I'm ready to ride. But I think that's the most challenging with you. And then you're already soft-spoken, so I'm like, they're not taking her seriously, and I know they are, but she's so nice, and that's just, you know, the heart of you, because you have a big heart like me, like very big heart. And you'll do anything for anybody. So it's like sometimes that overpowers, and I just be like, this mother right here don't even know. Like, come on now. But I think that's the most challenging with you, but it's good in some ways, but in some other ways I'm like, oh my God.
I agree.
Okay.
I ain't gonna lie. I agree. You know, I think one thing about that, though, is I don't like to deal with any type of conflict.
Yeah, you're not a conflict
person.
I
don't like conflict at all. Like, I'm always the person that tries to keep the peace in between things.
Yeah.
And so, like, when it comes to my own situations, you know, like you said, like, I'll just tolerate it versus just, like, you know, wash my hands clean with it.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like, I'll have to wash my hands clean with it, but it does take a while for me to realize that before I can actually, like, finalize that step.
Facts.
So,
yeah.
it's a work in progress.
Like, mind you, I hate to bring the Zodiacs again. You're the only Pisces I know that would be, like, patient. The rest of them is ready.
Hey, I got patience on the back of my neck. I should have put it somewhere else so I can actually see it, you know?
That's just, no. I just be like, nah. Ahna, what are you doing? Okay, so what, another question, has there ever been a moment where you felt like you were immature? That's even with friendships, work, family. Like, has there ever been a moment where you was like, okay, Ahna, like, you're being immature right now? I can think on my head.
Definitely.
You want me to go first, but go ahead.
Definitely. There's been moments when I've been, like, immature.
Yeah.
Friendships-wise.
Yeah.
Family-wise.
Yeah.
Relationship-wise.
I feel like
a lot.
I feel like if I based the question on me and you, low key, I feel like I was immature about our friendship in high school. If I put myself out there, I actually talked about this in my therapy, like one of my first sessions.
Yeah.
Like, so we've been knowing each other since we were 14.
Yes.
But after sophomore year, we kind of drifted off because of high school drama.
Yes.
And I kind of fell into it a little bit. And I cut on her off. I cut her completely off.
Cold.
Cold. Like, you know, she knows, if I cut you off and I see you in person, you can literally be 5 feet away from me and I'll act like you're not there.
Yeah. It was like the coldest I cut off ever. Like, social media blocks, you know, like, we see each other at Cleveland. It was like, oh, I just walked past a ghost.
And at that time, it was a lot going on. And then after I got into a relationship and
it definitely was it definitely was like a phase that we went through.
Yeah. And then when I came to
Apple,
that's when we rekindled. And I'm not gonna lie, when I first got there and I knew he was working there, I was still immature then. And I was like, I hope she know we ain't rekindled or being friends. Like, we just working.
But me, on the other hand, I definitely was like, okay, like, we graduated. I don't even remember what the beef was about.
Right.
And I was like, I was working with her cousin at the time, Robert, Jade's brother. And when I saw Shai come in and I saw her go to the back, I was like, what's she doing here? And I see her, like, in the office, like, filling out the forms and stuff. And then Robert told me, like, you were working here. And I was just like, okay, like, I wasn't, like, mad. I just wondered how it was going to play out because we had, like, not spoken at all.
It was like 4 years.
Since,
4 years.
Sophomore year, like, mid-sophomore year. And so I was like, this is my place of work.
Right.
I'm not trying to have it be awkward. But then I felt like there wasn't really no awkwardness.
Me personally, because like you said, and that's why I be telling these kids nowadays, even like, okay, I'm with middle school and elementary, but at least to like high school, it was like, when I look back on all the energy that I put into the drama, and I'm 23 now and can't even remember what the drama was about, it's like, bro, like, that was just a waste of time. I don't even know why I cut you off. But when I got to Apple, I was like, come on now. Like, and you could tell our chemistry was back.
Yeah, like, it came back as if, like, we never, like, had drifted apart, which was, like,
right. And then we ended
very interesting to me. Like, we used to kick it to Wingstop, like, every week. Every week.
And so, you know, and I remember talking to my mom about it, and my mom was just like, you know, she was like, I honestly don't remember why you cut off Anna anyway, but she was just like, you know, you're growing, you're about to be grown now. I mean, because I came to Apple when I was 20, so yeah. And I was just like, you know, we'll see where it goes, see where her head's at. You know, I don't want to force anything, but also I don't want to make the same mistakes, you know. So that's one thing I feel like I was very immature, if I can think of, when it comes to our friendship, you know, because I'm like, okay, we've been knowing each other since we were 14, but in reality, that 4-year block, I didn't speak to you.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, you know, we've had that conversation, then it kind of was crazy how we rekindled and then we lost some mutual friends and all this other stuff. And it's just like, okay. But I knew once we started to learn each other, the grown-up Shai and Ahna, like, we know how to, okay, Shai needs space on this, Ahna needs space on that.
Definitely develop to learn each other's boundaries.
Facts, boundaries.
Yes.
For sure, boundaries. And, yeah, you was there for me, like, quick with the whole Jamaica trip. I'll leave that for another episode. But that was just ridiculous. But she was, when I got back home from the airport, who was in that car was her and my mama. She was like, you want Wingstop? You want IHOP? I'm like, no, I don't want to eat. But she's that type. She's like, you want to eat? She know I love to eat. Even though I might eat like half the plate. But
yes,
yeah, like, you know,
we've had our late night like IHOP sessions,
facts only,
and stuff like that.
That sounds fire right now too. I'm so hungry. I know you hungry too, but that's what's up. I like that, and you know, that's also maturity too. I had to recognize that, and I recognize that with a lot of people. But I knew who I needed to rekindle with, and who not though.
Yes,
like I can apologize and own up my wrong, but I know certain people I can't be friends with you though, because that's just too like toxic, you know.
But I've definitely also learned, like, kind of going back to like, you know, like having those like moments, you know, like throw back to last year, you know, kind of around the time, you know, I was in a relationship, but there was like a lot of rocky things going on.
Right.
I didn't really know how to go about it because it was like my like first like serious relationship, not like the like playful ones that you like have in high school and stuff, but this was like the first like legit like real deal, you know. And so I'm like trying to navigate that, and I felt like I was kind of just pushing myself away from you at the time, and not just you too, just like other people. But like you can definitely feel that vibe, and I felt like that was just like the immature part on my end, because
I wouldn't say immature. I think, like you said, it was your first and you didn't know how to navigate.
Yeah, but like you know, I could have still came to you and just let you know instead of kind of just going MIA. I felt like that was the thing. Like I just kind of just went MIA, and it was never like a, you know, check in here and there, just letting you know what's going on. And
so low-key was at the end of my relationship too when you got in yours, and it was a lot for both of us.
But then, you know, when I started to come back around and kind of just fill you in, you know, it just like, I think it was just too much because there was just a lot going on, like with me personally.
Well,
and then
and it also,
you was going through your thing with, you know.
And then my mental, and that low-key broke my heart too, because I knew that when it comes to people's relationships, I know that's a boundary I would not cross. I don't care. Like, if you come to me, I'm going to let you know. But I know at the end of the day, Anna's going to do what she wants to do. And so when you finally told me the end of that, it broke my heart. Because number one, I'm like, we'll come back to what I said. Like, you deserve so much. So the fact that you tolerated a lot of that, it just like, it pissed me off. It made me want to cut his head off. I'm not even going to cap. But at the end of the day, I was like, I have to give her space for her to learn her own. And I know that she's not pushing me on purpose. I knew that, you know. So, and then I was going through my own thing. And so I couldn't really pay attention to you like I wanted to. And it was like we went to Rolling Loud. That was like the first time I seen you in a while. And it was just a lot. But I mean, we learned everything is either a blessing or a lesson. And, you know, I'm glad that we're here. You're here to be here with me. You know, I ain't going nowhere. I ain't got that many friends. You ain't going nowhere either.
Circle's very small.
Very like small. This. And it sometimes it need to be that way. But, okay. Last question on this topic. What is a life-changing experience that you've been through in your lifetime?
A life-changing experience?
Yeah, or like you felt like you've had a shift, like, you know.
I guess that whole me being in that relationship, I felt like was kind of like a life-changing thing.
Really?
Because I felt like everything just started moving so fast, and it really put me in like the reality of like how life is going to be. You know, like I was fresh 21, like literally fresh 21.
Literally fresh 21.
And, you know, at the time, we ended up moving in together. But that was when you and I were still trying to figure out like the whole like moving process.
Together. Yeah.
But I also didn't realize, you know, like when you get an apartment, like, you know, I knew we were going to pay rent.
Right.
But I thought like, you know, utilities was included and all that. You know, I thought parking was. And so, you know, when I went through that process with my partner at the time, it was like, wait, what?
Right.
Wait, there's rent, and you're saying that the utilities is not included in that? Wait, you're saying I got to pay parking too? Wait, and I got to get Wi-Fi and groceries and this and then furniture and this? And all. I was like, yo, like,
this is
it's a cool experience, but it's definitely like life-changing to realize like adulting is serious. And
adulting's ghetto.
I know definitely like my mom, like, you know, she's taught me like a few like things here and there, especially like financially. Like, you know, I didn't get my first credit card till I was 21 because I wanted to make sure that I was responsible enough to like spend my money wisely with just like my debit card, like with the funds that I have.
Right.
You know, because credit, it's not just like, oh, I get X amount of credit limit. Like, let me rack that up. Like, that's money that you got to owe back.
And your credit score is everything.
And I literally realized your credit score is everything.
Yeah.
Like, get loans for, like, cars, you know, house, just whatever.
Right.
Even just to get, like, another credit card. So, like, I took my time with that. And my mom was, like, also nice enough you know, to put me as an authorized user on one of her like cards for the time being. So when I was ready, my credit score could also just be A1.
Yeah, for sure.
And, you know, it'll help me. But at the end of the day, it's still my responsibility to keep it like that.
Right.
Because it's so easy. It's tempted. Like, there's been times where I'm like, oh, well, I ain't got no money on my debit card, but I got the credit, though.
Right. But or just dinging inquiries.
Yes, but I did learn, though, like, a good trick that, like, my cousin told me was, like, pretend, like, if you don't have the money in your checking account, don't use the credit card. You know, like, she would always use her credit card. So, like, if she had $200 that she was trying to spend something on, she would use her credit card, like, for the points, and then just transfer the money from her debit back to her credit card, you know. But never spend something that you don't have in, like, your account, because that's where you start messing up. And then that's where, like, it becomes hard to, like, make the payments on your card. You know, you can make the minimal payment, but then now you're, like, paying the interest that is accumulating.
It's always good to pay. I think they said 15 days before your due date, and then on your due date, and if you don't have a
before like the statement date.
Yeah. Before the statement date, that's like a cold trick. And then like with inquiries, they don't come off your record for after
like
2 years.
2 years.
Yeah. So I learned that a little bit because when I was trying to find a car last year, I was dinging it. I was like, look. Let's go ahead.
I'm in the process of trying to get a car. Right. So, you know, I'm learning. Like, I learned you should get it through your bank.
Facts.
Go through your bank, not the dealership.
There and be like, what car I want. Boom.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
I like that. That's life-changing?
Like, that was, like, life-changing.
That's a good one, though. That's a good one. Yeah. I say I've had plenty. But I will say probably the top on my list was high school graduation.
Really?
I will say, because this is my first time talking about it. So, for those who don't know, so I transferred to Garfield beginning of my senior year. You know, because I left Cleveland, because you know those reasons. And when I transferred to Garfield, since I was at a STEM school at Cleveland, I only had 2 classes the whole year.
Yeah.
So, really just like the basics and then 1 elective. So I was chilling, you know, and got into Texas Southern. I'm getting ready to go to Texas. My counselor is saying everything's A1. I'm getting money. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So then when checkout happened, everyone's they're looking at my records and they're like, oh, you don't have enough classes to graduate. I'm like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Like, I have I think you're supposed to have 90 credits when you graduate, something like that. 120. I had over because of Cleveland.
Yeah.
So, I didn't waste September to June of time that I would have not mind to graduate. I would have not mind, like, to do another class.
Yeah.
So, while that was a discussion, they're like, yeah, she checked off everything else, but she don't have the, it was like a language arts class that I missed. I'm like, bro, I could have spared that. Like, that would have been easy money. Like, what are you talking about? So, going through the district, because I think we graduated that Thursday or something like that. I don't know. But, like, the day before I'm going to the district, I'm talking to Principal Howard. We're trying to talk to whatever. I'm like, no shade. You letting these reclassified niggas over here graduate. You letting these basketball players graduate who don't even be at school. You know what I'm saying? And you letting them walk, and I can't even walk. We don't even get the diploma in our hand anyway. Like, can I just take the class over the summer? Just let me walk. I got people coming out of town. They would not do it. They literally told me 8 o'clock, because rehearsal was at 10 a.m. They told me 8 o'clock. They was like, there's nothing we can do. You cannot walk. Don't show up. First of all, very embarrassing. That's an unreal experience. Like, I don't really want to cry about it now. I'm a little choked. But, like, because I'm like, that's not who I am. My mom makes sure I'm good when it comes to grades. I got into Texas Southern, and on top of that, like, I had a full ride. Like, that shit was snatched. And I'm not crying now because it's still sad, but I look back at how far I came. It's like 6 years now. And it's like, a lot of people really shitted on me. Like, oh, Shai didn't graduate. Because I know you found out a little bit, like a little word of it
And everybody was asking where I was, you know, and why is Shai walking? And it's like, at that time, I didn't think that I'm surprised I didn't have a mental break then, because I had that balled up, but the survivor in me, Shai, you can't sit. Like, this is actually beyond crazy. Like, I've never had yet to have that walkout experience of graduating. You know what I'm saying? And I just tell people, like if you did that, like, don't take that for granted, like, for real, because I was just embarrassing. And looking how far I came now, you know, and my career starting, like, people who talked about me probably didn't think I'm still going. Like, and the reason why I'm sharing this story now, because it's like, I'm still here. Like, the day that happened, like, I was devastated. My mom, she was like, "Listen, what do you want to do?" I turned my phone off, because I'm literally, like, probably 2 years after I got over seeing people's graduation pictures, I used to get sick. Like, not low-key a jealous type. Like, I'm seeing everybody in cap and gowns. I don't want to see shit. Like, you know, and I went shopping a little bit, and I was still devastated. And facts, like, when I got home, like, I literally filed an application to work at H&M. And I got that interview the following week. I can't sit. I'm not about to be a bum. I'm not about to do that. Like, yeah, I didn't walk. I did my class over the summer. I got my diploma. It is what it is. Mm-hmm. And I feel like, you know, life changing, because, like I said, I had the scholarship to go to Texas Southern. But in reality, I don't think I was ready to go.
Yeah.
I personally think I would have got turned out at Texas. I really think so.
Yeah.
I don't think I was mature enough to go. And then,
I mean, that's also a big leap. Like, you're not gonna be in Washington no more.
Right,
like,
away
you're
from
not
my mom.
You're not gonna be around family.
Right.
You know, like, you're literally on your own out there.
Yeah. I was gonna leave 2 weeks after school ended. And I everything happens for a reason. And I don't think the opportunities I have now, even this podcast, I mean, even working with Layla, like, let me just shout out Layla real quick. Layla has been with me on, like I said, I'm a Sag, so I get bored fast and I quit shit really fast. I have done Styles by Shai. She has been my model. I have done Shiladon. She has been there. And then I was like, when I found out she's trying to, like, you know, build her portfolio for her photography, I was like, I gotta keep her on my team, because she is a ride or die, and I really appreciate her. I really, really do, because, like, that, she's such a gem, like, literally a gem, and it just shows, like, when you're good to people, you get that back, and I want to lift everybody up, but I hate to get emotional, sorry guys, but that was just a life-changing experience that I felt like was needed.
Yeah. And
it prepared me for where I am today. And now working with kids, how everything reversed. After that happened, I used to say FSPS. Like you guys actually effed up my whole experience. But when I got that call, like, Shai, do you want to work at Woo Woo? All right. Cool.
You gave them a second chance.
Gave them a second chance. And I now know what my purpose is. And It's just crazy how life goes back in a circle. Like, you're back. Now you're an employee. But I'm changing the difference now. Yes. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, if anything, if someone ever take from this video, you guys got me crying in 4K. So, appreciate it. But,
you know. In 4K.
4K. But, you know, yeah. You know, and, yeah, just don't judge people by this cover, because I had my grades.
Everybody always has, like, their different obstacles, whether it's early in life, later in life. Like, we all go through it.
Right.
You know, and that was an obstacle that you overcame. You know, you saw, like, there's this potential in me. Like, I have to keep going. Right. I'm not just going to let them tell me I'm not going to graduate and then just let it be that.
Right.
Because some people,
a
lot of people get talked down on. They're like, oh, like, you never show up. Like, you know, you'll never make it here. You'll never make it there. And a lot of people, like, overcame those obstacles. Right. And, like, you know, we're seeing a lot of people grow. Like, we're seeing a lot of people blossom. Baby Boy, Kevin Porter, you know, TK, like, you know, Terrell, you know, like, we're seeing a lot of them, like, you know, blossom into the person that they are becoming. And I'm pretty sure there was a lot of doubt, like, a lot of people doubting them, like, oh, you're never gonna make it.
Right.
You know, this is just a fairy tale that
and
you're just dreaming. And
this just also shows too, like, stay on your counselor, stay on your doctor, stay on anybody that has control of anything. Yep. You have the right to say what you
what's happening in your life.
Yep.
And you know, and it's just kind of crazy because you would think your high school counselor would have everything down pat. You would think. So I'm like, how did you F that up? You know? But it's okay. We're gonna live it alone. But on to the next. But I think that was a special key.
Yeah.
Okay. So we kind of talked about it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, me and you have something in common. I feel like I am growing. Okay, let me rephrase that. I am growing from my daddy issues. Do you feel like you have daddy issues?
I won't say I have daddy issues, but it would have been nice to kind of have some navigation about, you know, I'm not really around a lot of guys a lot, you know, because the household I grew up in, it's like my mom.
Yeah.
And it's I have two sisters. I'm the middle child, you know, and then my grandma's always been there.
Right.
You know, so it's like more of just like women affiliated, you know, and then I have like my uncles that are here every then, you know, whenever I see them during like a family gathering and stuff, but never like really grew up with the father around.
Right.
And like something that you like might have not known, like I'm actually adopted. So like,
what the fuck? Wait, you're adopted?
Yeah.
Ahna, we're not gonna get in depth.
We can.
Later.
We can.
You're adopted?
Yeah. So like my mom, like my adoptive mom, like I didn't find out till like I was older.
Okay.
My mom actually was told like she could like not have kids and stuff, so she like, you know, adopted like my older sister at like 3, and then I was adopted like as like a newborn. And then she had like a miracle baby, which was like my little sister. That wasn't even like planned. That was like accident.
I'm sorry for looking at you like
you're
this,
good.
but you just like
You're
your
good.
whole, it just changed.
You're good.
It explains a lot.
But as I like was growing up, there was like, I wasn't like really like I had questions, but like I never like really fully understood. Like I just knew like my mom was raising us, and like my biological father would always like send out, like write letters to me.
Oh, so you know who he is? You know of him?
I know of him, but I don't know. I've seen pictures. Never like talked to him or anything like that, because he would like send pictures. I ain't gonna lie, this man looked like a pimp though, because the pictures he would send would be like, I'm so serious. Like the pictures he would send would be like, you know, he kind of dresses like your grandpa, you know, the full-on suit.
Not that she threw the shade, but you know what?
No, but I'm just saying they dress similar.
Yeah,
but this
Rolling
man
Stone.
would, but this man would have like 2 chicks on the side of him. Like,
you're sending that to your kids?
Why are you sending that to your kids at like 5 years old? But then you're writing like letters, and you know how like the older generation be writing in cursive and stuff.
I'm so flustered.
Right? You know how like they used to write in cursive.
Yeah.
Like his was like super
Chicken
like.
scratch.
So I can't, you know, my mom would be like reading it to me, and then over time, like my mom, I guess, waited till I got kind of like an older age and started to ask, like, you know, like who's my dad, blah blah blah, and then she like told me, and at the time, I guess I would say I felt kind of like ashamed to be like adopted, just because there was a time when I felt like I like wasn't wanted as a kid.
Look, I'm done with this. Oh my God, you know I'm gonna cry. No. Okay, go ahead.
I might have to look at you though.
Yeah, look at me. Look at me.
And over the time, like just seeing like my mom, because you know, like my mom grew up with her like mom and dad, and they're still around, and like my grandma grew up like in a big family and stuff. And just knowing that, like, even though I'm not, like, biologically, like, my mom's child, the way that she just, like, raised all of us, you know, she still, like, showed love to everybody, like, equally. It wasn't like, oh, like, my little sister, like, because this is, like, my actual biological daughter, I'm gonna show her, like, more love than you two. It was, like, always equal all around. Yeah. And then over time, I just, you know, started to believe that, like, hey, like, it doesn't matter if they're like your biological or you know, like I still see my mom as like my actual mom, and my grandma as like my grandma, because they were there from day one.
Facts.
You know, and I never really I know like I've had the opportunity to like, you know, reach out to my dad, but I never really felt the need to.
Yeah.
Because like right now my life is just,
you're good where you're at.
I'm good where I'm at.
Yeah.
And I don't want him to kind of like disturb the peace in any way. But it's like I have my uncles to be there like guiding me. So like when, you know, I told them about like my first like serious relationship, they were like, hey, you know, these are like some things that like you should look into, you know, like if a guy's not doing this for you, if they're not doing this, then they're probably not the one for you. You know, this is how they need to treat you. You know, when it comes to relationships, there's no like gender roles, you know, like where the woman's always cooking and cleaning.
Facts.
It's 50-50. You know, like so like I have the guidance from them. So I don't like, I feel like it'd be easier like just seeing how tough like my mom is and how tough like your mom is, just like, you know, raising kids, like even though you're the only child, but like you know, it's still hard. You know, it's probably even just more harder just having more kids, you know. But I felt like at the end of the day my mom never really like showed her like stressing out, you know, like how you said in like one of your previous episodes, like, you know, there could have been times where like you were eating but your mom didn't. Right. Like there probably were times like that with my mom, but I would have never seen that because my mom always made sure we were good at the end of the day.
Facts.
You know.
Wow.
So
oh my God, Ahna. You know, wow. Okay, you got me lost for words. Okay, wow. I'm on the same wave. I mean, I was fortunate enough. I mean, I know who my dad is. I know where he's at. But I think my issue with him was like, my mom never spoke bad about him ever in front of me. And so as I gotten older, I'm not goofy. I'm not stupid. So when you're telling me you're gonna pull up, and I'm waiting, and you don't, and then it started just, you know, drifting off and just not showing up at all, I kind of to adapt to, okay, my dad's not here. But my daddy issue started to really show. I think it shows. It was definitely showed in my past relationships, and it also showed in friendships too, of how I trust people. Like, don't, like, this is my pet peeve, you know, too. Don't tell me something if you're not gonna do it. Because when you tell me something, I'm gonna hold it. And I think where that stemmed from, my dad said he was gonna give me today, and he didn't do it. So now my trust is starting to, you know, no, like, you know, and my other issue was like, especially when sports was heavy in high school, there was times he popped up at the game.
Like unannounced?
Unannounced. But somehow, some way, Candace Marie made sure I did not know. She shut that down real quick. But the fact that you had the audacity, or you're stealing pictures from Facebook and you're showing people, oh, my daughter, da-da-da. Now it's turned into anger at that time. You got to be fucking kidding me. My mama raised me. My grandma raised me. You didn't put nothing on the table. What's the last thing you bought me? Like, what's the last time you fed me? You ain't done nothing. And then you have, he knows there's only one uncle that's his best friend that I associate with. Everybody else that went to high school with him don't associate with him because they know. But you have that one that don't hold him accountable. You got to hold him accountable. You have, then on top of that, I have beef as well because I have a half brother. I don't really call him my half brother.
Yeah.
Jalen. We are 6 months apart. 5 months apart. His birthday's on the 4th of July. I don't know him. And my mom tried to rekindle that, but I don't really blame her in a way, but his mom was not having it. I mean, we're 5 months apart. You get the whole dynamic. But at the end of the day, that shouldn't have to do with me and Jalen. We're siblings. And my mom really wanted me to get to know my sibling.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I get attached to people real quick. And my attachment with men back then was very quick because I'm trying to fill the void. I don't know. I had uncles too. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I said in the episode with Cam, there's things I was taught about, like, Shai, you know better if a dude does that. But it's like, the last one I felt like, maybe this is enough. This is what I'm gonna get. Like, that's how I felt. But now, I know now, you know, in the certain experience I've experienced recently, I know what my worth and what I deserve and what it looks like to date somebody or talk to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But with my healing process with therapy, definitely daddy issues was top, and I have to learn how to navigate. And there was a time when I did announce like my whole mental break last year. He tried to reach out, and I feel like, to me, that wasn't the time or place.
Yeah.
But then he was consistently, and it dropped again as always. And I'm like, this is why I don't fall for it. And I'm at the place too. I don't feel like there needs to be a conversation because I'm at a good place.
Yep.
I've now learned how to navigate without you, and I can still do that. Like I even said this, like when I get married, I don't want no one walking me down. I want to walk by myself because I felt like from beginning to end, like I got here by myself. Now, if there was a way that my mom can walk me down traditionally, she would walk me. But I've grown past that anger. I'm not mad at him. I don't wish no ill will on him.
Yeah.
But, because at the end of the day, you got to answer to God. You got 2 kids out here that you never took care of. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's, and I kudos to people who can have that conversation.
Yeah.
I think me personally, I'm not even ready to have that. Because I don't know if I'm going to spaz. I don't know if I'm going to cry. I don't know if I'm even going to be able to finish. And there's not a mediator because I wouldn't want to be in a room by myself.
Yeah.
Because you've told people around, oh, Candace backlash. Candace, talk about it. I've seen everything with my own eyes. My mom never spoke ill will about him. She probably to my uncles and all that, but in front of Shiree, she did not. And I respect her for that. Because that's how you damage kids too, and kids can't think for themselves, but she allowed me to think for myself. I seen it.
Yep.
I seen it. So I'm growing past him, and I learned how to navigate, and I know I can detect it like, Shai, stop, and everyone's not your dad. Everyone's not your past relationship. Like, see with your own eyes, see what's in front of you.
Yep.
See what, because at the end of the day, people are going to do what they want, and they're going to show you. You got to be patient with it.
Actions speak louder than words.
Absolutely.
I definitely am a firm believer of that.
Yes.
Literally, like, it sounds cliche, but it is very, like it holds power to, like, what it means. Like, actions do speak louder than words. Like, you could just tell me constantly, oh, I love you, or I'm going to do this for you, I'm going to do this for you.
Right.
But then when you're not doing it, your actions are showing that. So how am I supposed to trust you the next time you say that you'll do this and you don't? Because last time and the time before that, you showed me that you couldn't do it.
And communication is everything.
It is.
All you got to tell me, man. I don't care if it's hurtful, damaging, grateful, sad, happy. Just tell me. Then that's up to me how I'm going to handle it. So I say, like, probably just to end this off, this can be from not having a dad around you, adopt, or just overall, like, how did it have you felt unprepared but you were fully equipped?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
There's a lot of moments where, like, you felt like not prepared for anything, but again, just having the, like, adequate resources to help you, like, navigate. Again, you don't really need a father to be able to help you navigate through life. You know, there are some things that, like, they might be there to help you with. Like in the movies, they're always, the big scary guys, when you have your prom date coming to pick you up,
right?
Or to homecoming or something like that. My mom could be scary too.
My mom, she a thug.
Yeah. But I think just being so surrounded by people that want to see you achieve well in life, that's always just the best resource that you can have.
Yeah,
because
I feel the same way.
They help you, even if you feel unprepared in the moment. Like, you can just see, like, oh, there's times when such and such went through a struggle, and they didn't have all the right resources, but they still made a way.
Right.
And so, like, when you just see that, it kind of just gives you, like, the motivation, like, okay, I can do it too, and not just be like, oh, well, because I don't have this, like, I won't be able to do this.
Right.
Because I don't have that, I won't be able to do that.
Yeah. I feel
the
same way.
Like, I admire my grandma a lot because, back in the day, like, people having babies at, like, 18. My grandma had like she has 3 kids.
Mm-hmm.
Had her last one out by like 22.
Mm.
You know, she moved.
Fine. Yeah.
She moved down. She moved down here from Louisiana.
Right.
With just kids like my grandpa.
Right.
You know, didn't really have a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But she always found a way.
Right.
So, and I just think that just shows from generation to generation that like, because eventually, you know, my grandma's on her own now. Like her and my grandpa aren't together, but they still remained like in a good relationship. Like my grandma, I feel like that's where I kind of get like my tolerance from my grandma, because I've seen and heard like a lot of things and my grandma's like the sweetest person that you could meet. And I've just heard a lot of things and I'm like, grandma,
same with my grandma.
It could have been different. Could have been different, but you know, my grandma's a firm believer in, you know, just not really holding grudges with anyone.
Right.
You know, she doesn't necessarily need to have them in the life, but she forgives everybody.
Right.
And so I'm trying to kind of be like her in a way.
Yeah.
But
I feel like that's good. I feel like I agree honestly on that. I feel like I've been fully equipped just with overall things, and I've made mistakes, you know. I think that's just with life, you know. And yeah, you took the words out of my mouth, and I would say, just to end off the podcast, it's like people got to get out of, whether you're religious or just believe anything, you're not gonna make it to the highest power of heaven just by being a good person.
Yep.
You gotta believe with your heart and match your words and confess to that, because like I said, I've made some mistakes even in our friendship, and it's like, no, like, Shai, just being a good person by waiting till you're 21 to drink and all this other stuff and obeying the law and all, that's not it. That is how you treat people, and what you're gonna get, what you do, you're gonna receive back. And you gotta give people chances. You can't automatically look at somebody and be like, they're gonna do me dirty. And that was my perspective on just friends, boyfriends, all that. And I have done so great within the last year with my healing of just seeing people for who they are.
Yeah. Don't
make assumptions. Don't be judgmental. Focus on you, Shai. Be a good person. Do what's right, and it's gonna come back to you. So, that's it. But you know, I appreciate you stopping in. I think this episode, if you're not crying right now or got some tissues in your hand, you need to check it. But I appreciate you guys tapping in. We are on YouTube as always, like you're watching right now. Subscribe, okay? We're on Spotify, Apple, SoundCloud, Amazon Music, anything you can find. There was confusion. The audio comes out the same day as the visual, so there's no conflictions on that. And make sure you share and tell your friends to tell your friends to tell your friends to tap in. And me and Ahna's about to get something to eat and fix my lashes. But yeah, thank you guys, love you guys, and I'll check in with y'all next